Hey, folks, welcome back to the Luncheonette. This is our, seventh episode?
I don't.
Eight?
Ooh.
Seventh or eighth, ninth? I don't know.
I've not even thought about it.
We've been doing this
Cool.
for a little bit, but we're excited for whatever number episode this is because we have Miss Michelle Marie here, a local country music artist, and glad to have you, Michelle.
Super excited to be here. I've been a fan of the Luncheonette podcast. I think my favorite episode so far has been the Caitlin May one.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
But she's so sweet. I got to meet her at the last writers round, so
Yeah.
big fan.
Very high energy, and
Yeah, definitely.
She's got the red hair thing going on, so Jordan's all.
Hey, yeah, I didn't feel left out
Yeah.
for once. But it's interesting hearing just like a different person talk. You know, you're just like, what did you say?
Oh,
She
I was
told-
so mesmerized with every time she spoke on that stage. My eyes were just like, just because like it's such a beautiful. She got a beautiful speaking voice.
She
too.
told me what a jam bap is. A jam bap. You know that? Was that in the episode? I don't even know if
Yeah,
it was.
it
It was.
was.
Yeah, it's like a little like jam sandwich. It's called a jam bap.
So anyhow, Miss Michelle, just give us a little bit of background about who you are, how you got to where you are, and all that fun stuff.
So my name is Michelle Marie. As mentioned before, I am 25 years old from Daytona Beach, Florida, and I've been in country music for quite some time. I grew up listening to Dolly Parton and Reba a lot. Coat of Many Colors is probably one of the first songs I started like singing. And a fun fact about me is that I've been on TV before. I was on season 15 of American Idol. I got cut right before the top 24, so during the final judgment round. So I made it about 6 weeks into the competition, and overall it was a super duper fun experience. And then ever since then, I've just been, gigging around town and releasing music and, doing the independent artist thing.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
That's great.
So did American Idol help you? Do you think did that help you more mentally, or like what do you think?
I definitely think that it helped me mentally for sure. I mean, it is definitely a rigorous process.
Yeah.
Hollywood week, I'm gonna give you all a little inside scoop.
Please.
It's not really a week. It is like 4 days. So you get there, and then the first day there's like a big production meeting about what to expect. And then literally the next day starts solo rounds. As soon as solo round is done, group round starts. There's no time in between. So we literally would run off of 2 hours of sleep. Like we would have 18-hour days and then have like a 5 a.m. call time the next morning when we're up rehearsing until 2, 3 a.m. with the groups or with the band. So it's definitely very, very fast paced. And coming home from it being so fast paced, like I felt so lazy after the show for a really long time. So in some aspects it helped me a lot, but in other aspects, because so much happened in such a quick amount of time, I feel so behind 10 years later when I have to remind myself constantly that I'm not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what are you doing for 18 hours a day? Like, if another group is doing something, are you just kind of sitting around, or do they have something for you to do all the time?
So you're interviewing. So you interview with many different producers. You're filming B-roll. So like literally you'll just like walk up the street so they can get slow motion movement of you. You're talking to the judges. You're filming different things. So there really wasn't a lot of downtime. Like the downtime that you had was to eat a little bit and sleep a little bit.
Wow, that's cool.
But it was fun. I met some of the most amazing people, and I literally still have so many friends from the show that I talk to all the time.
And are they gigging in their own towns? Or,
Yeah,
wow, cool.
I actually ended up becoming pretty close to the winner too.
I was going to ask
Trent
who was
Harmon.
the winner. Okay.
His name is Trent Harmon. I think that he should be way bigger than he is. He is so talented. When I left the competition too, I said to my mom, I was like, I want Trent to win. And then he went and won.
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
I'm really proud of him. But yeah, it's an awesome experience for sure.
Good. And I've played with Michelle before, and me and Michelle go way back. So, and just recently I accompanied her at a show, which was a pleasure. It was awesome. But that is a really great story of yours where you can say, hey, I was on American Idol, but even though I didn't win, I'm still doing this, and it taught me so much. And like, it is a really good story about, leading into one of your singles, What Money Can't Buy.
Absolutely.
And yeah, tell us about that too, because I think that's my favorite song of yours. That one's really great.
I appreciate that so much. So now what I'm going to talk right now is like the hint of negative. Now, don't get me wrong. American Idol was a positive experience. And if I had the opportunity to go back and do it again, I absolutely, without a doubt, would. Cool. So it was overall a very positive experience. But as we know, life is a pendulum, and there's always going to be a little bit of negative. So part of my story, as you would have it, is that I am from the poorer area of Daytona. My mom and I still live in the trailer park, and I've lived in that trailer park for 14 years now. And I really have never thought anything of it because, we've got a nice house. It's a trailer, but it's nice, and there's a lot of love in that house. So when I was on the show, they would have me talk about being in the trailer all the time, and I really didn't think anything of it. When I was eliminated from the show, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, I was 16 years old, and this is when my world kind of came crashing down, and I realized, holy crap, I'm poor, I guess. So one of the producers, as I was eliminated, told me to look into the camera and to tell America that I was sorry that I didn't get my family out of the trailer park.
So rude.
No way. And I'll never forget how it made me feel. I'll never forget staring at the light, trying not to cry because I was not going to cry on camera. And I just looked at the camera and I said, I'm sorry I didn't get my family out of the trailer park. And in the same breath, they looked at my mom and they told her to tell America that I would be bigger than Jennifer Lopez in 5 years. And my mom's like,
what?
My mom was like, I'm not going to say that. She's like, I can't say that. No. And then we left. And on the plane ride home, I was thinking to myself, I don't think that I don't think they understand that it's not about what material you have. It's about the love that you have in your life. Yeah. So I wrote a song called What Money Can't Buy about all the things I have in my life that you can't put a price tag on.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, anytime you see Michelle, which I'm surprised they're not here right now. Your mom and grandmother are always there. It's a great close family, and it's a great experience seeing all them. I mean, y'all are way happier than anyone on that show, the producers or anything. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, it's just such a great song too. I mean, the lyrics are fantastic because it's like, I mean, I live right down the street from you, basically,
yep,
a couple
absolutely.
streets down. So it's like I'm right there with you. I love it, you know, and I wouldn't trade that lifestyle for the world.
Exactly. And that's what people don't understand. It's like they think, oh, they must be trying to get out, but we're comfortable. We've been here for 14 years. We own the trailer, so it'd be really stupid to take on a whole bunch of debt when we have a place to live and call home.
I know. That's it's so true. Especially in this economy of the housing market, you're just like, if I'm happy, I'm safe, I'm in a good spot, I'm not changing anything. Right. I don't need to. And I like how you said, I didn't realize we didn't have much. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing.
I didn't realize it.
Absolutely. That's when my
yeah.
world came crashing down. I was like, oh my God, these people were judging me this whole time. And I didn't think that we were poor. My parents did such a great job with it. It was, we can have Disney passes or we can have cable, but we can't have both kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Just balancing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what I find hard, you know, how old were you when you were on?
I was 15 years old during the time of audition, and then I turned 16 right before Hollywood Week. So I was young.
But yeah, to put that on a 16-year-old, that's just insane. Like that's a lot of
And then, like I said, going through that, even though I tried to not let those comments bother me after the show, it made me feel like I wasn't doing enough.
Right.
And I started feeling like that at 17 because of that. And it's been really, really hard to like let go of the you're not doing enough because it felt like that in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's really rude to do. I mean, we all know at this point that reality TV shows, like the producers are these like, you know, writers that are trying to get the most not controversy all the time, but sometimes controversy, like the most stirring thing, to try to stir the pot or whatever, So, I mean, that in turn fueled you into what you're doing now, and like you're consistently releasing music. I mean, you really are. So
absolutely.
I mean, do you think without the American Idol experience, would you still be where you're at today?
That's a tough question because even before American Idol, I was always gung-ho on this is what I wanted to do. I wrote my first song when I was 11.
Cool.
And I can't believe I'm talking about it because
Sing
I liked it was called Someone Big, and it was like,
wow.
I want to be someone standing on the stage. I want to be someone.
Wow.
Everybody knows I want to be so much more than I already am. I want to be someone big. My mom's she's gonna crack up because I don't talk about that song. I put that song like in the closet,
in the vault,
gone away. But music has always been my thing, and I was auditioning for things before American Idol, and I was doing stuff before American Idol. While I think it absolutely helped me, I do think that I would still be on the path that I'm on if I wasn't on the show.
Good. Yeah, that's great. Can you talk a little bit about because you go up to Nashville to at least record, and you do co-writes with people, right? Can you like tell who you've worked with and like what that experience was? Being from small town in Florida, and then you're going up to the big music city in Nashville. I mean, what's that like?
So it was an awesome experience. Believe it or not, when we went down and I recorded basically an album, I recorded 11 songs. I recorded 3 in the first stint, and then I went back and recorded 8 because I liked this place so much. Cool. I was going through a really, really tough time in my personal life and in my music life, and in January of 24 of early this year, I was very much considering just throwing it all away and pursuing something else. And my mom took me up to Nashville just to get me away, and literally through Airbnb. It was just this funny, make a jingle for $300, and my mom did it and didn't tell me. She's like, we're just going to record a song.
She made a jingle?
She didn't make a jingle. She said it was like advertised as have a radio ready song in a day. And she's like, $300, that's not that bad of an investment to lose if it's nothing. So I met this amazing gentleman by the name of Caleb and Cygnus Studios, and it was an incredible experience. Wow. And I had showed him 3 songs because my mom, I didn't know I was doing this, so I was like, I don't know how I'm going to choose a song. I love them all. So I showed him 3 songs, and he liked all 3 of them so much that he offered me an incredible, like, kind of discount to record all 3 of those songs. So, and then I went home to Florida, and I was like, I called him, and I was like, can I come up in, like, 2 months? I'll raise the money to record 8 more songs, because at this point, you've kind of sparked the dream back in me, hearing this music at the production of this level. Yeah. And it was kind of like in a basement in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually a little bit outside of Nashville. It was where Jelly Roll grew up. I'm trying to think of the name. Antioch, yes, that place. But it was an amazing experience. So when I went back in March, I had a lightning strike moment. So I recorded 8 more songs for my upcoming album. And then I just went out on the town, and I went to Dierks Bentley's bar. My friend Christina that I was staying with at the time was like, you need to go to Dierks Bentley's bar because there's this thing called the Whiskey Jam going on, and you should go. So I went, and normally you get like invited to the Whiskey Jam, but it was a takeover night. So you signed up.
Oh,
so you signed up, and if your name was called, you would get to go do the Whiskey Jam. So I got there, and there was like all of Nashville there too. Yeah. I did not realize how big of a deal the Whiskey Jam was.
Whiskey Jam is huge. Yeah.
So
are you familiar with Whiskey Jam, Lauren?
No.
Yeah. So Whiskey
I'll
Jam.
let Jordan explain.
Please correct me if I get a detail wrong. Whiskey Jam has been going on for many years. And it's like, I think they changed the day. It used to be like every what day?
Mondays and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays. I thought it was a Monday, but it felt weird saying it was on a Monday. But it's Mondays and Thursdays. every week. And they invite you to come play. And there has been, I can't remember the exact number, but so many people who have played. It's like independent artists. Do you know the number?
It's Luke Combs, Dierks Bentley. The whole reason it's at Dierks Bentley's bar now is because he did Whiskey Jam coming up. Maren Morris, Morgan Wallen. I had no idea the significance of Whiskey Jam.
So many single, like number one songs were first performed at Whiskey Jam, and it's like
coveted.
A huge thing.
It's a huge opportunity.
I played it one time, but not as me. I was just the accompaniment guitar player for another artist.
Right.
But it was awesome.
So back to this lightning strike moment. I get there and all of Nashville's there. So I looked at my friend Christina. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get pulled up there. I was like, especially not some girl from Florida.
Right.
I was the first person called. I was the first person called.
Yes.
So I had a crap my pants moment. And I was like, okay, we're doing this. And I sang a song that I had not even shown my mom and Nana.
Wow.
It's called Glitter Cowgirl. It's going to be the title of my upcoming album. And so I sang it, and the place went nuts, and I ended up getting to, talk to Ward, who's the runner of Whiskey Jam, and I went back and performed Whiskey Jam again this year, and I'm hoping to perform one more time this year at Whiskey Jam. It's really cool to have that organization and to get to have an outlet for original music and have the people there to listen to original music. Because when I play my original tunes here in Florida, maybe one or two people at the restaurant will listen. But at Whiskey Jam, that's what they're there for. And it was just such an electrifying experience. It really makes me want to move to that city.
Because that's the thing about Whiskey Jam is you're like, I'm watching this artist and they might be the next Luke Combs.
Right.
You don't know who might make it huge while they're up there. But you only played like 3 songs or something like that.
3 songs. It's a 3-song thing.
Yeah. So, and they usually have like, I don't know, under 10 artists a night or something like that. Like it's just like maybe 7 artists or something like that. And you just get to hear amazing songs and
you link up with some incredible songwriters. So I met one of my friends, John D. Neal, who's also up and coming and trying to make it. We've written like 14 songs together because we clicked, and like that weekend, we had just met, and I was like, come over to my place and we'll write some songs. And he ended up staying until like 4 a.m. and we literally wrote 5 songs that night. It was crazy. Yeah. So once you find a writer and you click with them, you can make some magic pretty quick.
Never found that before. That 5 songs in a night, that's amazing.
For those of you listening and don't know what Whiskey Jam is, but know what the Bluebird Cafe is, it's kind of a very similar thing, just a different vibe.
Absolutely.
It's a little more of like, correct me if I'm wrong, Bluebird's a little more like chill. Everyone's like sitting down.
Yes.
Whiskey Jam's like the whole bar is there like standing, in front of the stage. A lot of times it's a full band and they're just like, come on, rock us right now.
Absolutely. It's so much fun. Electrifying. And every talent that I saw at that show was amazing. Like there's so much talent in that city. It's incredible.
So are you drawn to Nashville? Are you like, I'm leaving Florida, I'm going up there?
Absolutely, just when the economy is right, which might be never at this point, but I'll still take my trips and hope that I'll have some more magic moments like that.
It's a lot cheaper to travel to Nashville right now.
Yes,
absolutely it is for sure. So it's when the timing is right, but I'm not gonna I've literally been to Nashville more times this year than in the decade. I've been going to Nashville since right after American Idol.
Right.
And I have a cool Grand Ole Opry story too.
Wow.
I'll tell you about in a minute. But I've been going to Nashville since 2016, but this year alone I've been 5 times. And we're fixing to go for our 6th, and I'm so excited to get to go with the Southern fellow family. It's going to be so much fun.
When you go to Nashville, this is because, like I said, we grew up in like the same area. Do you like the pace of Nashville? That's my only complaint about Nashville is it's like, this is way too fast for me.
Like I said, I had training from American Idol.
There you go.
So I'm very much drawn to the nightlife of the city. Like if I could have a gig, if I could have an 11 a.m. gig, a 2 p.m. gig, a 6 p.m. gig, and a 10 p.m. gig, I would do it.
Dang.
I would perform all day.
And I really think it's who you hang around too. Because you can do the Broadway
I was with some
thing.
wild people.
Yeah.
And I don't drink, and I was with some crazy people.
I think it's all you hang around.
We played Whiskey Jam and then stayed out till 7 a.m. the next morning.
That is exactly what me and my band did. I was literally dropping people off at the airport, but we had gone out. We went out to, and I don't drink either, but because they were drinking, I was like, I'll drink with you guys. And it was fun.
Oh, I had a blast, but I'm like, how do they live like this? And then just like the next weekend, they're like, well, we're doing it again, you know. So
yeah, no, I'm with you, Jordan. Like I can't hang with some of those people.
I need to see what it's like to go to Nashville with y'all. You know, just maybe a little more
time.
people.
Oh,
Yeah,
chill.
I've been to Nashville as an artist, as a tourist, as just like someone who's going to see a show or something like that, and I'm excited for this experience coming up.
Yeah,
the
I
end of the
mean
month.
that's me.
Gonna be
I'm more
really
of a
nice.
listening room vibe.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Absolutely.
Broadway.
Listening room is such a fun place. I want to play there. That's a bucket list place.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
perfect place.
do y'all want to hear my really cool Grand Ole Opry story?
Please,
Let's
yes.
hear it.
Okay, so in 2016, right after American Idol, we went down to the CMA Fest. And as Jordan was talking, my mom and Nana, they are my biggest cheerleaders. I can't imagine going to a gig and not having them in the audience. They're always there, and they've been there from day one, and they're kind of like the only family that are that with me and that for me. So my mom did something behind the scenes that I had no idea about. So I'm sitting in a CC's Pizza, eating my pizza.
Love it.
And I get a phone call saying, hi, this is so-and-so. I'm Carrie Underwood's fan club president, and we got your email, and she absolutely is interested in meeting you. So come on down to the Grand Ole Opry tonight. We're going to let you in the side entrance, and y'all are going to talk and have some fun. And I choked on my pizza. And my mom was like, what's going on? Because I was crying. She goes, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, Mom, I'm meeting Carrie Underwood tonight. So we went to the Grand Ole Opry. She was having a fan club party. And I've been a fan club member for a while. I've loved Carrie. Part of the reason why I wanted to be on American Idol is because I saw her do it. I saw her win. So we went, and the party was happening. And as Carrie Underwood came out and took a picture with everybody, and after she took that picture, her fan club president and the security team took me to the backstage area of the Grand Ole Opry, and Carrie was there, and we had like a 40-minute conversation. She told me that I was really brave because she waited until she was 24 to do American Idol, and she was talking about how she had rewatched my audition, and she was just so encouraging in telling me to not give up and to keep going, and she was just the nicest person. So I'm very happy that she's going to be a judge on the show because I think she is the perfect person to do it.
Yeah, for real. Wow, that's an amazing story. That's
It
really
was-
cool.
it was
Wow, I was
so
waiting for.
cool.
I was waiting. Honestly, I hate to say it, for that to be a scam.
Right?
Like, oh, just come here and like I was waiting at the side entrance and they just never came. You know, I was
No,
waiting.
it was.
Wow, that's
so yeah,
amazing.
Nashville for me is an amazing city because I've had so many magical moments there in just the few times that I've been there.
Well, everybody keeps telling me. Everybody, ever since I started this whole music thing, has told me over and over again, like Nashville's a big city, but it's still like a small town vibe. And I'm like, what are you
Absolutely.
talking about? And literally every time I go to Nashville, and I'm doing something just completely random, I always run into somebody that I know.
Huh.
Like in that big of a city.
It's crazy. I met someone from Florida that I knew in Nashville one time.
Same. I saw somebody
was
who
like,
had played
"What
at
are you
Old Red
doing
right
here?"
before me, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Did you move down here now?" And I was like, "No, not yet, but we're working on it."
Wow.
But I hope I have a cool Grand Ole Opry story after the.
Yeah, maybe you'll walk away with a trophy. We're all
later this
Whoa,
month.
we're all
yes,
crossing
let's
our
do
fingers
it.
that you walk away with the trophy.
The
Yeah.
crazy thing is, this is gonna be my first time actually in the Grand Ole Opry. I've been like in the side room. I've been to the Ryman, but this will be my first time
In the
Grand Ole-
auditorium,
Yeah,
it's
in
a
the
religious
auditorium.
experience. The music, the shows. Have you ever been to a Grand Ole Opry show?
I've seen a comedy show there.
They have
Not a real Grand Ole Opry, like not the program, but just
the real Grand Ole Opry
Right.
shows are incredible because they have big names, but they also have small names too.
Cool.
And one of my favorite performers that I saw was Whispering Bill Anderson. He's older. He's like in his 80s, and he's still kicking and doing it. And it's so cool to see all the different levels of country music come together at one night. It's awesome. It's a religious experience.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, my one of my cousins, he was in Nashville one time, and he went on a night where Vince Gill was there, and he was, I mean, he was one of my favorites, and he was just saying like, I just had no idea the amount of talent that was in that building, like the band, all of the artists, even the like MCs and like the way they run it and everything are just the top of the top. So.
And the thing is, 90% of the people watching the shows are just as talented as the people on the shows because it's all
Wow.
up and coming musicians
Wow.
who want to do it. So
Just trying to get in.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I had an opportunity to see Vince Gill at the Bluebird Cafe.
Whoa.
And literally, we were like at the front table, and his name wasn't even listed that night. Like, it was just like some random thing. and,
He
like,
surprised
something
y'all.
happened, and it was just like him and
I would have died. I would have had a heart
somebody
attack.
already-
Oh yeah. I've heard so many Vince Gill Nashville stories. Actually,
really,
like he's just always bopping around, or at least used to be. Like I just heard so many people running into him and stuff.
I was literally sitting because Bluebird
Yeah.
Cafe is very small. I was
Right.
literally sitting from here to Michelle
Uh-huh.
from Vince Gill because I was at
Wow.
that front table.
That's
What
that's
an icon.
insane.
So,
Yeah.
What a moment.
yeah, but you run into. I mean, that's the cool thing about Nashville. Like I said, I run into independent artists that I know, but I've also been out to eat and.
Yeah, you
there's
just see
somebody
them.
famous there, and they're just doing the same thing I'm doing. And
Yeah.
Los
know.
Angeles is like that. We
Yeah.
were eating at a restaurant and Vanessa Hudgens just like popped in. It was
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
But the producers were so like strict about they were like,
I
if
can
you
imagine.
see celebrities out in public, don't ask them for pictures. So we just
Yeah.
kind of like had to admire from afar. But when I was in LA for American Idol, stuff like that happened all the time. Like I think one of the people in the group saw Sia rehearsing because when I made it to the next round after Hollywood Week, we flew up and we're there for 2 weeks rehearsing in Burbank in these like coveted rehearsal spots that are like very like you sign NDAs and like you cannot talk about what happens on those plots because I think Beyonce was rehearsing for a tour at the same time. Like it's very, very coveted and very like. But it was very much like Nashville where like all of like the Los Angeles celebrities were just
Right.
out and about.
They have those kind of. I did that one time in Nashville. They had those rehearsal spaces where it was really cool. They had a soundboard, and on the soundboard you could like save all your settings and stuff like that. And they just would title it like the name of the artist, and you're like going through like they hadn't deleted some of them, and you're just like, oh my gosh, they were in the room here at last. And then there was I don't remember if I signed anything, but Matt Maher, he's like a Christian artist. Matt Maher, he was like right next to us, and I was like listening. I was like not trying to listen, but it's just like you could hear it. And you're
Right.
like, oh my gosh, I know that song. And then we both like passed each other at like the snack machine.
somebody probably stole one of your songs. That's why they didn't get you to sign something.
I know. Yeah. I don't think I signed anything. Not remember.
No, but so man, you've gone a long way since 15 years old, or
Yeah, it's crazy to me to think about September 11th, which is a crazy day to say, but September 11th of this year was my 10-year anniversary for auditioning for the show.
Wow.
Because you audition and kind of film the year before. So everything was filmed in 2015 and aired in 2016. So I also had to keep my mouth shut at 16 years old.
How did you do that?
It was hard, especially like you got to think too. I was in high school when all that happened. I was in high school. So it was so hard to go from like being picked on and not really wanted around to, oh my God, you're my best friend kind of stuff. Like it was,
That is fun.
it was insane for
Did
sure.
you get really popular after that? And with your
Not
friends and stuff?
popular, just like infamous. It was just like, oh, the quirky girl got on American Idol. Cool. Because what you don't understand is like how I dress now is also how I dressed to high school. I would wear
Cool.
the most glittery disco ball things to high school. Like my ROTC nickname was Disco Ball.
Oh, you know what? That brings me to another question. So you have another single coming out. Is that your next single, Glitter
So
Cowgirl?
Glitter Cowgirl is actually going to be the name of the album. And that's going to be released in April of next year. But I do have a new single that's going to be coming out. It's called Explosive. And I'm looking to release it later this month. So definitely
Nice.
be on the lookout for it. It was my first breakup song.
Cool. But you do have a song called Glitter Cowgirl.
I do have a song called Glitter
But that's
Cowgirl.
on the album.
It's on the album, and
it's
I'm gonna kind of release it right before I release the full album.
Cool.
It's like the precursor to the album single.
Good.
are you
Wow.
gonna be singing it at our showcase in Nashville?
Oh, absolutely! I sing it everywhere. So many,
Yeah.
and I've created like a little fandom with it. And what's really funny is I wrote this song in 10 minutes, and I thought it was the dumbest song. I was like, I wrote it because I was having writer's block with a serious song. And I was just like, well, let me write something funny and just get, creativity out of my system. So I wrote the song in 5 minutes, and I didn't even show anybody because I was like, this is stupid. I'm singing about wearing glitter. Like that's like, I'm 25. Hello. And then I showed it to my producer / recorder. I don't really know what to call him, Caleb. He's amazing. But I showed it to him. He was like, no, I love it. It's awesome. Let's do it. And then we did it. And I started showing people. And my friend Christina that I was in Nashville was like, that's the song you have to sing at Whiskey Jam tonight.
Wow,
she goes,
cool.
That's an anthem. And then I sang it, and it kind of has become an anthem because I was at a show at Full Moon, and the biggest, burliest biker dude goes, are you going to sing Glitter Cowgirl tonight?
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, sorry. It was me.
And I was like, yeah. So it's just so funny to me. What I perceive to be a silly song, others are perceiving to be an awesome song.
Right,
And just, it's crazy.
That's great. And then this breakup song, is this, you said it's your first breakup song.
Yeah, so I wrote this one back. I've been writing music for a really long time, but as you know, it's very, very hard to get it in the studio because it costs a lot of time and a lot of money. So I wrote it when I was like 18, when my first boyfriend had left. So it's definitely like, it's more kind of rock and blues inspired than most of my music.
Cool, yeah. That's cool.
I'm looking forward
That's great.
to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear that. Did we play that?
We did not.
Oh, okay, cool.
We did not.
Yeah.
She's holding back.
Yeah, she sent me a lot of her music to
But
learn
I
and
sent
stuff,
it all, so it's in that file.
Whoa. I'm gonna listen. That's great. Well, yeah. I mean, that's awesome. Good for you. I mean, you have such like a from now until you said April.
I want
just like a good plan.
I want to build my following because as Jordan knows, this is not my first time releasing music. I tried it when I was a teenager. I went to Sound Mind Studios, and Jordan was actually my sound engineer back then, y'all.
Yeah, I was part of it. Yeah,
he was part of it.
I wasn't like head producer, but I was like running the.
That's when things started to go south for you. Is that where we're going with the story?
You know
Yeah.
what? Now that I think about it, maybe that's why the songs didn't take off. What did you do, Jordan?
I put a little like curse on it.
But I released them all right away, and I at 17 had no idea about marketing, and I want to do it right.
The industry was different back then too. You know?
TikTok wasn't a thing.
Right. Yeah.
And social media was just starting, so it was really, really kind of hard, and it was hard for me to watch other people do the same thing and it take off because you kind of think to yourself, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? You know? And I want this to be heard better than the last one.
Good. You deserve it.
So
Absolutely. You deserve it.
So one last question. Where do you see yourself like in the next 2 years? I know we got through April, but where do you see yourself a little bit after that?
You know, I'm just going to hit the ground running, trying to perform anywhere I can. I'm going to start to branch off and try and do some performances outside of Florida to build myself a following in other states as well, because I'm starting to build myself a pretty good following here in Florida. My followers were amazing in getting me. There's a contest that Orlando Weekly runs every year, and I've got such a following that I placed 3rd in the best cover band category.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
So, you know, I'm building up my Florida following, and I want to start to build up followings elsewhere as well. I got some performances coming up in my old hometown of Maryland, so I'm trying to kickstart stuff back up there, and then just, you know, hit all the heavy spots. Like I hear Austin is a great city to play in, and I hear, you know, unfortunately not right now, but different parts of North Carolina and South Carolina are great to play at. So...
Well, I'm trying my hardest. We're trying our hardest to make Daytona one of those
great
places to
I'm
play
here
in.
for it. I've always said with the amount of events that we do, Bike Week, Biketoberfest, Trucktoberfest, Spring Break.
Now Jeep Beach.
Beach. There's no reason why we shouldn't be a musical hub. And I think I like that country is starting to make waves here in Daytona, because when I first started out doing gigs, a lot of the venues around here would turn me down because we don't like country music.
Right.
We're a rock
so
town.
tough.
We
It's
don't
so
like country
tough.
music.
Yeah.
We're a rock town.
It's not true. It's not true because
NASCAR. NASCAR is the most redneck country thing that is out there, and that is Daytona.
It's here, but it's the venues that say that. It's the managers of the venues that say that, not the people.
Right.
Because you know, I'm not bragging or anything, but you know, I work really hard to sound good and put on a good show, right? Well, I'll play at a spot that'll say we really don't do country, we just do rock and reggae or something like that. But a good quality act shouldn't matter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll go to a spot and I'll be like, wow, they won't book me here just because I do country, but the guy that you know is playing music is, you know, like. I could bring more people. I could do whatever. It's just and that's not brag. That's not coming from a place of bragging or anything.
And
like
it's
that.
not coming
almost
from a
like
place of harsh on the other
I'm
musician
not.
either.
No, it's just like.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's almost prejudice where it's just like, oh, country? No, never mind. It's like without giving you the chance. It's just like.
That's the thing. It's like you don't even want to hear me. You don't want to look at my EPK.
Yeah.
You should tell them that you want to do an all original showcase, and then they really freak
out.
out.
Oh, true. Yeah, no,
you're not
that's
wrong
absolutely
about
true.
that.
Yeah.
And that is why I love you, Patrick, for what you've been doing around Daytona, because this is really the first time in the 14 years that I've lived here that we've had an outlet to play original music and have people actually come out to the show. So we here in Daytona are very thankful for the strides that you're making for original music in our community. I appreciate it very much.
That's what I keep telling the city. You know, they're like, you know, well, you know, we got to be able to make money. The business got to be able to. I said, Austin's doing pretty good. You know.
Yeah, that's
Savannah's
true. Yeah.
doing pretty
Nashville
good.
does great.
Right.
And
Nashville's doing good.
Nashville's
you know?
doing awesome.
So, you know, I always have this thing, you know, because people
good.
always tell me like what it takes to be successful. I'm like, well, you got to kind of be different, you know.
And you can't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, I can't.
You
be afraid to
cannot
fail.
be afraid to fail. I cannot tell you how many times like my EP didn't work out, American Idol didn't work out, gigs will say no, and you just have to let that stuff roll off your back and keep going. That is like the biggest thing about this industry is the amount of no's and the amount of doors that just get closed right in your face.
Right.
But in order to be different, you got to be different, you know. And I get it. Everybody likes a cover band. I like a cover band every now and then, but Daytona is just so saturated with that.
Yeah.
And now they're doing cover bands of people that are still touring. Like they did a Zach Brown cover band at the band show.
That's funny.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, why? Why?
It just brings in people. Yeah, it's sad.
It's just.
It's sad when you got a cover band of a you know current band, but then Michelle Marie is playing down the road, and people will go see the cover band.
I'm playing to the
Original
bartender.
music, yeah.
I'm playing to the bartender and my mommy and Nana.
Yeah.
But what keeps me going, because you know when I first started doing all original showcases, I was losing money because you know I did a lot of advertising, a lot of stuff, you know. Didn't do ticket sales, any of that kind of stuff. But, you know, once people showed up, once people were a part of it, they're like, this is really cool.
Well, other
like,
people
yes.
started noticing too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, can you do that again?
Yeah.
You know, so.
So, you know, we just did our, you know, original music showcase back in April.
That was so much fun.
Chases ran out of parking in an hour. You know, Riverside Johnny's, they were not prepared for the amount of people that were there. And so, I mean, it's catching on. It's just, you know, getting people
on board with listening
on
to.
board with it, yeah.
And I think it's a risk thing because, like, people like comfort. You know, it's like, well, I know I like Zach Brown Band. And it's, you know, taking a risk going out to see an artist that they don't know.
Yeah.
And I get that aspect of it too. But at the same time, I always say you got to try something once before you can say you don't like it.
It's true. It's so true. Yeah.
But, you know, I always refer people back to Garth Brooks and places like the Barn. You know, Garth Brooks was playing a place at a barn before he was even famous. So if you go to an original music showcase, you don't know if that, you know, there's somebody on that stage that might be playing a song that, you know,
you might hear on the radio.
6 months down the road, you're like, oh yeah, I love that person.
Yeah.
Well, you saw that person, you know.
And you could be a fan of
Daytona
them
Beach.
from
I
the
was
very
like
beginning.
that with
you know?
Luke Bryan. I literally watched, I was like 9 years old when I discovered Luke, and it was right before he released his debut album. And it's such a special, cool thing to kind of grow up with your artist and watch your favorite like artist go from playing the no-name bars to the stadiums,
Wow.
and people don't realize how special that is. And that's another incentive to go to these things, is you can literally watch and grow alongside an artist.
Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have an artist like that I really got to watch, bloom, I never saw that. So that is really special and probably rare for you,
Yeah.
So that's
I
great.
mean, at least Priscilla Block with me. We've had her on the website and we did different things. Now we have Tucker Wetmore, who's blowing up right now, and he was on the website. And we just had conversations like we're having today, with the both of them, So it's just been such a cool thing to see them, I mean, Priscilla was almost at a breaking point where she's like, I think I'm done. Like,
Wow.
you
And
were-
I get
like
that.
you were,
Like I said earlier this year, I was there.
She's like,
so
I'm not
easy.
112 pounds. I'm losing money right and left.
And I love Priscilla for that. As somebody who's not stick skinny, she's still blonde. I'm not blonde, but as somebody who's not stick skinny, it's so beautiful to see that, to see somebody break that mold, because the industry today, unfortunately, you kind of almost also have to look conventionally attractive, which is wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
Back in the day before social media, it didn't matter what you looked like. And now it's, what do you look like? How many followers do you have before they'll even consider listening to your music?
It's true.
But she owned who she was. She came out with that song, Thick Thighs Save Lives.
Yep.
And that, that went crazy on TikTok. And then, now she's doing the big stuff. So I think there's opportunity for everybody. I think there's opportunity for you. I mean, obviously you're on a good track. Jordan.
We're working on me.
Don't worry, Jordan. I'll take you with me if I go.
Yes, let's do it. Thank you.
No, I've been on the ground floor with both of y'all. I always wish everybody in our Southern Fellow family the best. And, I try to do my part into helping.
Thank you.
So it's always great to see, when people get to go to that next level. But yeah, Michelle, it's been such a great time talking with you. It's always great chatting with you.
Thank y'all so much for having me. It was so great to have an outlet to talk about all these things.
Yeah, thank you. You did great. Yeah,
if y'all are going to be in Nashville this month, the 25th and the 26th. I can't remember what day you're playing.
I think you said the 25th.
The 25th? Okay. But we got a show 25th and 26th at
Doesn't
Nash
matter. I'll be
House
there both days anyways.
Same.
In Nashville. And Jordan will be there. Jordan, I know, is playing the 26th because he's helping me MC the 25th. So,
which I've never done, which I'm excited for.
You're a natural because you've been so awesome during this interview. You're going to do
thank
just
you.
fine.
Oh, I just need to get a name list so I'm not mispronouncing people's names. So that's the only thing I care about. But
Well, I was just talking
I
to
can talk forever. I can stall. If there's an equipment issue or anything, I can talk. But
I was just talking to Christine from Southpaw because she's going to be doing.
oh yeah.
She's going to be doing Saturday night, and she knows me. She's like, please don't be making up stories about artists and me get on the stage.
Gosh, now that I have that, I will.
And
I can do that.
I was like, I'm not going to set you up for failure like that, maybe. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good time in Nashville. So where can everybody follow you at?
So I'm on all forms of social media. You just got to type in Michelle Marie Music, 2 C's at the end of music, and it's every single social media is under that tag. And all of the follows are so appreciated.
Great. And please make sure you can follow her on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places that music is streamed, as well as you can follow us here at the Luncheonette at all those fun places. So look forward to Nashville, and hopefully we'll get you back on the podcast real soon.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time right here on the Luncheonette.
I've seen many folks spend their whole lives chasing down a pot of gold. What they don't understand is life's got another
right, we just ate at Rosie's here in Daytona Beach. It was so good. I had the beef cheesesteak with, let's see, onions, peppers, and au jus. I don't even know what that is, but it was very tasty. It was awesome. What'd you get, Michelle?
And I had 2 cannolis, a chocolate cake,
Priorities
and
first, right?
dessert first, lunch afterwards, and then I had a delicious meatball sub with fresh mozzarella, and the bun was toasted like perfectly.
It did look really
It
good.
was really
Yes, it
yummy. Very good.
Really cool atmosphere in here. It's a small, little, charming spot with just nice little Italian decorations.
And the dessert is so good.
I had a pumpkin roll. Not many pumpkin rolls get by me. A bad day to be a pumpkin roll when I'm around. And yeah, I give it 5 Patricks. And yeah, I would definitely come here again.
Absolutely, for sure.
You would? Nice.
Oh yeah,
nice.
For sure.
It's cool, you know, if you have like a little meeting you're gonna do with someone, if you're just like out, hey, maybe a little date night or something.
It's budget friendly. I was able to eat all that food for under $30.
Right? Yeah, not bad. So really cool spot. I mean, outdoor seating as well, and just inside, it's cool. Great staff too. Just really accommodating, just always asking us how we're doing, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really good. I felt like an Italian, and yeah, I had a great time. So thank you, Rosie's, and we'll be back.
Y'all make sure to eat here.
Yeah.